Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I want to speak to a soul who knows what it feels like to be unseen, unheard, and unloved. To that woman I say, I see you, I hear you, and most importantly, I feel the weight you carry. Being unloved is not about a lack of worth, it's about a world that sometimes forgets how to value what is rare and beautiful. When the world refuses to give you the love you deserve, it's time to look inward. The journey to self-love is not easy. You will stumble. You will question yourself. But let me tell you, this love does not come from someone else validating your existence. Love comes when you look in the mirror and finally accept the woman staring back at you, flaws and all. Letting go of those who cannot or will not love you is not a loss, it is liberation. It is not your job to shrink yourself to fit into someone else's version of what is lovable. You were born to stand tall, to take up space, and to shine in your own light. When you find yourself alone, do not despair. Solitude is a gift. It is in solitude that you hear your own voice, feel your own heartbeat, and reclaim your power. Let it be a time to rebuild, to nurture the parts of you that have been ignored for too long. Pain will try to define you, but it does not have to. Pain is not your destination, it is your teacher. It will teach you strength, resilience, and the art of rising. Use that pain to create a version of yourself that no one can overlook. And when you finally stand in your power, you will realize something extraordinary. You were never unloved. You simply hadn't learned to love yourself in the way you deserve. Once you do, your energy will shift. You will no longer chase love, you will attract it. You will become a lighthouse, radiating a love so fierce and pure that others will be drawn to you. So to the unloved woman, remember this: you are not defined by who does or does not love you. You are defined by how deeply you choose to love yourself. Stand tall, love fiercely, and remember you are more than enough. Always. The journey to self-love is one of the most transformative paths a person can take. It is not a straight line, nor is it always easy to navigate. For many, it begins in a place of pain, feeling unloved, unseen, or unworthy. That pain becomes the spark, the whisper in your heart that says, there must be more than this. It is that whisper that leads you to a road less traveled, where the destination is not someone else's approval, but your own acceptance. The first steps are often the hardest. How do you love yourself when the world has made you feel so unworthy? It begins with small, intentional acts. It starts when you stop criticizing every flaw you see in the mirror and instead say, this is me and I am enough. It grows when you stop measuring your value based on others' opinions and start recognizing your intrinsic worth. It strengthens when you give yourself permission to rest, to dream, and to take up space unapologetically. Self-love is not about perfection, it is about wholeness. It is about embracing every part of yourself, the light and the dark, the triumphs and the failures, the strength and the vulnerability. It is about understanding that you are not broken, even when life feels shattered. You are a mosaic of experiences, each piece adding to the masterpiece that is uniquely you. On this journey, you may face resistance both from within and from others. There will be moments when self-doubt creeps in, whispering that you are not good enough, not worthy enough. These are the moments when self-love demands courage. It asks you to stand firm, to look those doubts in the eye, and to say, I deserve love, not because of what I do, but because of who I am. Self-love also requires forgiveness, not just of others, but of yourself. It asks you to let go of the mistakes, the regrets, and the times you let yourself down. It's about realizing that you are human, and to be human is to be imperfect. Forgive yourself, not because you are excusing what happened, but because you deserve to be free from the chains of the past. As you walk this path, you will find that self-love is not a solitary journey. The more you love yourself, the more you attract people and experiences that align with that love. You will set boundaries, not out of spite, but as an act of self-respect. You will surround yourself with those who uplift you, and you will walk away from those who drain your spirit. Over time, the small acts of love you show yourself will grow into a deep, unshakable belief in your worth. You will no longer seek validation from the outside because you will have found it within. You will become your own biggest supporter, your own safe space, and your own source of light. The journey to self-love is not a destination, it is a lifelong process. There will be days when it feels easy and days when it feels like a battle. But every step you take on this path brings you closer to the truth that you are enough, just as you are. You are worthy of love not because of what you give to others, but because of the love that already exists within you. And as you embrace this truth, something extraordinary happens. You stop chasing love and start radiating it. You become a beacon of strength, resilience, and beauty. You show others that it is possible to love yourself deeply and unapologetically. And in doing so, you inspire them to embark on their own journey to self-love. This journey is yours. It is sacred. And it is the greatest gift you can ever give yourself. Redefining love and validation is an essential part of reclaiming your power and embracing your true worth. For so long, society has conditioned us to seek validation from external sources, our parents, our friends, our partners, and even strangers. We've been taught that our value is measured by how others perceive us, how much affection we receive, or how many accomplishments we achieve. But the truth is, real love and validation have nothing to do with the outside world. They begin and end within ourselves. For many, the idea of love has been distorted. We often equate love with possession, control, or even approval. We seek someone else to complete us, to fill the empty spaces we've been taught to believe exist. We look for validation through likes, compliments, and affirmations, thinking that these external signs will confirm that we are worthy, but in reality, they are fleeting. External validation is like a temporary fix. It may feel good in the moment, but it never truly satisfies the deeper need to feel whole and loved. Redefining love means understanding that love is not something we can earn or prove to others. It is something we must give ourselves freely. Love is not about changing ourselves to fit into someone else's mold, nor is it about expecting others to validate our worth. It is about recognizing our intrinsic value and accepting ourselves completely as we are in every moment. True love is unconditional, and it starts with the love we offer ourselves. To redefine love is to look beyond the surface and embrace the deeper essence of connection. It's about understanding that love is not just about grand gestures or passionate moments, but about everyday acts of kindness, patience, and understanding. Real love is found in the quiet moments when we show ourselves compassion, in the times when we forgive ourselves for our mistakes, and in the spaces where we give ourselves grace to grow. It's not about being perfect, it's about being present and accepting ourselves with all our imperfections. Validation, too, needs to be redefined. It is not something that should be based on external measures. Validation should not depend on whether others approve of you or whether you meet certain expectations. True validation comes from within. It is the quiet voice inside that says, you are enough, you are worthy, you are deserving of all the love in the world. When you begin to validate yourself, you stop seeking approval from others because you no longer need it. You understand that your worth is inherent, not conditional on anyone else's opinion. When we redefine love and validation, we step into our own power. We realize that we are not defined by the love or approval of others, but by the love we have for ourselves. It's about becoming your own biggest cheerleader, recognizing your strengths, and embracing your weaknesses with kindness. It's about giving yourself permission to be vulnerable, to express your needs, and to ask for what you deserve. And when you do this, something incredible happens. The world starts reflecting the love and validation you have for yourself. The relationships you attract will no longer be based on seeking approval or finding external validation. Instead, they will be rooted in mutual respect, admiration, and love. When you love yourself, you become magnetic people who genuinely value you, and your worth will be drawn to you. This shift in perspective is not easy. It takes time, patience, and a willingness to let go of old beliefs that no longer serve you. But the moment you begin to redefine love and validation in your life, everything changes. You become free from the constant need for approval, and you begin to embrace the fullness of who you are. You learn that you do not need to earn love or validation from others. You are already worthy of both. Redefining love and validation is an act of liberation. It is about freeing yourself from the chains of external expectations and finding peace in the truth that you are enough, just as you are. When you understand this, you no longer chase love or approval because you already have them within yourself. You become whole, complete, and at peace with your own existence. In embracing this new definition of love and validation, you invite a deeper connection with yourself and others. You create space for authentic relationships where love is not a transaction, but a natural expression of your being. And that is the kind of love that lasts, the kind of love that fills you from the inside out, and the kind of love that can never be taken away. Letting go is one of the most profound acts of self-love and empowerment that we can offer ourselves. It may seem counterintuitive at first, especially in a world that constantly encourages us to hold on, to fight for what we want, and to keep pushing through every obstacle. But the truth is, sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is to let go. Letting go is not a sign of weakness, nor is it a sign of defeat. It is an act of strength, wisdom, and courage. It is the realization that not everything in life is meant to stay, and that some things must be released in order for us to grow and evolve. Letting go is often necessary when we find ourselves clinging to things that no longer serve us. This could be a relationship that has run its course, a job that no longer fulfills us, or even old wounds from the past that continue to haunt our present. We often hold on because we are afraid of the unknown. We fear what might happen if we let go, what we might lose, or what we might have to face. But in holding on, we deny ourselves the opportunity for growth, healing, and transformation. When we let go, we open ourselves up to new possibilities. We make space for something better, something more aligned with who we are becoming. Just as a garden must be cleared of weeds to allow new seeds to grow, we must release what no longer serves us in order to create space for new opportunities, new experiences, and new relationships. Letting go creates room for the future, for the things and people that are meant for us to enter our lives. Letting go is also a form of forgiveness of others and ourselves. Often we hold on to resentment, anger, or guilt because we feel justified in doing so, but holding on to these emotions only hurts us, not the person or situation we are angry at. It keeps us stuck in the past, trapped in a cycle of pain that we can't move beyond. When we let go of these emotions, we free ourselves from the chains of the past, and we allow ourselves to heal. Forgiveness is not about excusing the behavior of others. It is about releasing the grip that anger, resentment, or hurt has on our hearts. It is about choosing peace over pain. Letting go also involves the willingness to release the expectations we have placed on ourselves. We may hold on to old ideas of who we should be, how we should look, or what we should have accomplished by a certain age. These expectations, often shaped by society, family, or our own inner critic, can weigh us down and keep us from fully embracing our authentic selves. By letting go of these limiting beliefs, we give ourselves permission to be who we truly are, free from the pressure to conform to anyone else's standards. We stop measuring our worth by external accomplishments and begin to recognize that our value lies in simply being. One of the most challenging things to let go of is fear. Fear often holds us back from pursuing our dreams, from taking risks, and from stepping into the unknown. We are afraid of failure, rejection, or not being good enough. But fear is a natural part of life, and it is something that we must learn to face and move beyond. Letting go of fear doesn't mean that we no longer feel it. It means that we refuse to allow it to control our actions and dictate our decisions. When we let go of fear, we free ourselves to live boldly, to take chances, and to embrace the uncertainty of life with open arms. Letting go can also mean surrendering to what is rather than constantly fighting against it. Life doesn't always unfold the way we expect or desire, and we may find ourselves facing challenges that feel insurmountable. In these moments, letting go means accepting that there are things beyond our control, and that resistance only causes more suffering. Surrender is not giving up, it is trusting that the universe has a plan for us, even if we can't see it yet. It is accepting the flow of life with grace, knowing that everything happens for a reason and that we are exactly where we need to be in this moment. As we let go, we become more present in the now. We stop carrying the weight of the past or worrying about the future, and instead we fully embrace the present moment. We are able to experience life more deeply, to savor the small joys, and to appreciate the beauty that surrounds us. Letting go allows us to live with an open heart, to give and receive love freely, and to connect with others in a more authentic way. It is in this space of openness that true transformation occurs. The power of letting go is that it frees us from the past, unburdens our hearts, and creates space for us to step into our full potential. It allows us to live in alignment with our true selves, unencumbered by the baggage of old stories, beliefs, and fears. When we learn to let go, we embrace the flow of life with trust and faith, knowing that we are constantly evolving and growing. In letting go, we open ourselves to the infinite possibilities that the future holds, and we give ourselves the gift of peace, freedom, and renewal. Solitude is often misunderstood. In a world that thrives on constant connection, where our worth is often measured by how many people we surround ourselves with or how much attention we receive, solitude can feel like a foreign concept. We are taught to fear being alone, to fill the silence with noise, and to seek the company of others as a way to avoid discomfort or loneliness. But in truth, solitude is not something to be feared, it is something to be embraced, for it is in solitude that we discover the true strength of who we are. At first glance, solitude may seem like loneliness. It can be unsettling to sit with our own thoughts and face the quiet spaces where we cannot escape from ourselves. Yet it is in these moments of stillness that we come to know our own hearts. When we are alone, without the distractions of the world, we are forced to confront our emotions, our dreams, and the parts of ourselves that we may have neglected or ignored. This is not a weakness, it is an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. In solitude, we find clarity. We often rush through life caught up in the demands of others, the noise of the world, and the constant need to be doing something. But in the quiet of our own company, we allow ourselves to pause, to breathe, and to reflect. We can hear our inner voice more clearly, the one that tells us what we truly want, what we need, and what is best for our soul. Solitude is the space where we can tune into our intuition and listen to the wisdom that resides within us, free from the opinions and expectations of others. Solitude also gives us the time to heal. In the hustle and bustle of everyday life, we often neglect our emotional well-being. We may push aside the pain of past experiences, the hurt from relationships, or the trauma we have yet to face. Being alone allows us to process these emotions, to sit with them, and to give them the attention they deserve. It is in solitude that we can tend to the wounds of our heart, allowing them to heal so that we can move forward with strength and resilience. There is a unique power in solitude that comes from the ability to be fully present with ourselves. When we are not distracted by others, we become aware of our own needs, desires, and limitations. We learn to set boundaries, to honor our own space, and to value our own time. Solitude teaches us to be comfortable with ourselves, to accept who we are without the need for external validation. In these moments of solitude, we discover that we are enough just as we are, and we begin to realize the power that resides within us when we stand alone. Strength in solitude is not about isolation or withdrawal from the world. It is about finding peace in our own company, trusting ourselves, and gaining a deeper understanding of our purpose. It is in these moments of solitude that we cultivate our inner strength, our resilience, and our sense of self-worth. We learn to rely on ourselves, to trust our judgment, and to have the courage to make decisions that align with our true values, even when it means standing apart from the crowd. In solitude, we also find freedom. We are not bound by the expectations of others or the roles that we are expected to play. We are free to be exactly who we are, without the pressure to perform or conform. It is in this space of freedom that creativity flourishes, that new ideas emerge, and that we can reconnect with our passions and purpose. When we are alone, we are not confined by the limitations of the world around us. We are free to explore the depths of our own potential. Solitude is a sanctuary where we can reconnect with our own heart and soul. It is a sacred space that allows us to recharge, to reflect, and to grow. When we embrace solitude, we no longer rely on others for our sense of worth or happiness. We discover that we are whole on our own, and that our strength comes not from being constantly surrounded by others, but from within. In solitude, we also learn the power of patience. We are no longer rushing to fill every moment with noise or activity. We learn to be still, to embrace the present moment, and to trust that everything will unfold in its own time. In this stillness, we find a deep sense of peace, a peace that is not dependent on external circumstances or the approval of others, but a peace that comes from knowing that we are enough just as we are. As we find strength in solitude, we also begin to realize that we are never truly alone. The connection we seek with others must first come from within. When we learn to love ourselves in solitude, we become more capable of forming authentic, meaningful relationships with others. We no longer seek validation or approval from others, but instead we offer love, compassion, and understanding from a place of wholeness. Solitude is not a punishment, it is a privilege. It is a gift that allows us to reconnect with ourselves, to heal, to grow, and to cultivate the strength we need to face the challenges of life. It is in the silence, in the stillness, that we find our true power. When we embrace solitude, we discover that we are not only capable of standing alone, we are capable of standing tall, strong, and proud, fully aware of the incredible strength that resides within us. Transformation through pain is a concept that many struggle to understand. It is one of life's most profound paradoxes. Pain, something that we typically wish to avoid, can be the very catalyst for our greatest growth and transformation. We often view pain as something to escape or to fix, but what if we stopped trying to run from it and instead leaned into it? What if we allowed pain to teach us, to shape us, and to elevate us? In doing so, we might begin to see pain not as an enemy, but as a powerful force that pushes us toward a new version of ourselves. At the moment of pain, it feels overwhelming. Whether it's the ache of heartbreak, the sting of rejection, the weight of loss, or the challenge of failure, pain can make us question everything. It can shake us to our core and make us feel as if we are broken, that something has been lost, or that we are forever marked by the experience. In those moments, it's easy to fall into despair or to try and push the pain away. But the truth is, pain is often the soil in which our greatest lessons are planted. It is from the deepest wounds that the most profound healing arises. Pain can create space for reflection, where we come face to face with our vulnerabilities, our fears, and the parts of ourselves that we may have neglected or ignored. It forces us to slow down, to stop running on autopilot, and to take stock of our lives. Often, we don't realize how much we've been carrying until the weight of it all becomes too much to bear. Pain brings these burdens to the surface, giving us the opportunity to finally face them head on. In these moments, transformation begins to take root. As we begin to sit with our pain and allow ourselves to fully experience it, we start to uncover deeper layers of ourselves, layers that were hidden beneath the surface, buried under the busyness of life. We begin to recognize patterns, to see where we've been stuck, and to understand the things we need to release in order to move forward. Pain acts as a mirror, reflecting the truths we've been avoiding and giving us the chance to grow into a more authentic version of who we are. Through pain, we often come to understand the importance of surrender. There is power in letting go and accepting that there are things beyond our control, and in trusting that the universe, life, or whatever higher power we believe in has a plan for us even when it doesn't make sense in the moment. Surrender is not giving up. It is about acknowledging that we can't control everything and that sometimes the best thing we can do is to release the need for certainty. Pain teaches us Pain has a way of revealing just how strong, determined, and resourceful we truly are. It pushes us beyond our comfort zones, forces us to dig deeper than we ever thought possible, and empowers us to persevere even when we feel like giving up. Moreover, pain can refine our character. It strips away the layers of ego, pride, and fear, leaving us with the raw, unguarded truth of who we are. In the face of pain, we are often forced to confront our weaknesses and our imperfections. But rather than seeing this as a flaw, we begin to see it as an opportunity to grow. Pain teaches humility. It teaches us that we don't have all the answers, that we are not invincible, and that there is beauty in our brokenness. It reminds us that we are human, that we are allowed to hurt, and that we are worthy of love and compassion, even in our moments of vulnerability. Through pain, we also gain a new perspective on life. The things that once seemed so important, material possessions, status, and external validation, often lose their grip on us when we've experienced deep emotional or physical pain. We begin to value the things that truly matter: love, connection, health, peace, and authenticity. Pain strips away the superficial, leaving us with the core values that define who we are. It realigns our priorities and gives us the clarity to focus on what truly brings us joy and fulfillment. As we go through this process of transformation, we begin to heal. Healing doesn't mean that the pain disappears or that we forget what we've been through. It means that we learn to live with it, to accept it as part of our story, and to use it as a source of strength. Healing is the process of reclaiming our power, of taking the lessons learned from our pain and using them to propel us forward. We may never fully get over the pain we've experienced, but we learn how to integrate it into our lives in a way that doesn't hold us back. Instead, it becomes part of the tapestry of who we are, woven into the very fabric of our being, strengthening the whole. In the end, transformation through pain is not about avoiding suffering, but about finding the wisdom in it. It is about embracing the challenges that come our way and seeing them as opportunities for growth. It is about trusting that pain is not the end, but a beginning of a new chapter in which we emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with our true selves. Pain, when we allow ourselves to fully experience it, becomes the very thing that leads us toward a more authentic and empowered life. It is through our struggles that we discover our greatest potential, and it is through overcoming them that we come to realize the depth of our own strength. Becoming a lighthouse is a powerful metaphor for personal growth and service to others. It represents the act of shining a light in the darkness, guiding those who are lost or struggling, and offering hope and direction when everything around them seems uncertain. A lighthouse is not concerned with the storms that surround it, nor does it try to calm the waves. Its purpose is to stand firm, providing a steady, unwavering light for those who need it most. In our own lives, becoming a lighthouse means cultivating an inner strength and peace that can shine brightly in the face of adversity and uncertainty. The first step to becoming a lighthouse is understanding that we must first nurture our own light. A lighthouse cannot guide others if its own light is weak or extinguished. This means taking time to care for ourselves emotionally, mentally, and physically. It means recognizing that in order to be a beacon for others, we must be grounded and centered in our own purpose and well-being. We must tend to our inner world, ensuring that our values, passions, and beliefs are aligned with our authentic self. When we cultivate this inner peace and clarity, we naturally begin to radiate positivity and strength, becoming a source of light in the lives of those around us. Becoming a lighthouse also requires resilience. The storm will inevitably come. Life is full of challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. The waves of hardship and disappointment will try to pull us under, and the winds of fear and uncertainty will test our resolve. But just like a lighthouse stands tall and unwavering amidst the storm, we too must find the strength to remain steady in the face of life's difficulties. Resilience means understanding that challenges are not meant to break us, but to refine us. It means standing firm in our beliefs, trusting that we have the inner resources to navigate the toughest of circumstances. Part of becoming a lighthouse is learning to hold space for others, even when we are struggling ourselves. A lighthouse is not concerned with what it receives. It is solely focused on offering light to those who need it. In the same way, we are called to offer compassion, love, and support to others, even in our moments of vulnerability. It is through selflessness and generosity that we truly become beacons of hope for those around us. We must recognize that we don't have to have all the answers or be perfect in order to guide others. Sometimes our light is found in simply being present, listening, and offering a kind word of encouragement. Another key aspect of becoming a lighthouse is the ability to stay true to your purpose and values, regardless of external circumstances. The lighthouse does not change its position or message based on the weather, the tides, or the ships passing by. It remains constant, unwavering in its mission. Similarly, we must learn to stay grounded in our values and purpose, even when the world around us seems chaotic or unpredictable. When we are rooted in our truth, we become unshakable, able to maintain our course and offer steady guidance to others. This requires deep self-awareness and a strong commitment to living authentically, regardless of external pressures or distractions. Part of becoming a lighthouse is also embracing the role of a leader, leading not through control or domination, but through example and inspiration. Lighthouses don't demand attention, they simply shine brightly and others are drawn to their light. In the same way, we lead by embodying the qualities we want to inspire in others: courage, kindness, honesty, and integrity. When we live authentically and with purpose, we naturally attract others who are seeking the same light. Leadership through example is about showing others what is possible when we live in alignment with our highest selves. It's about inspiring others to rise up and become their own lighthouses. Becoming a lighthouse also requires a willingness to embrace vulnerability. A lighthouse is exposed to the full force of the storm, and yet it does not shrink away or try to hide. Similarly, in our own lives, we must be willing to be vulnerable and open, to share our struggles and our challenges with others. Vulnerability is not a weakness, it is a source of strength. It is through our openness and authenticity that we connect with others on a deeper level, offering them the gift of seeing that they are not alone in their struggles. Our willingness to be vulnerable creates an environment of trust and safety, allowing others to feel seen, heard, and supported. To become a lighthouse is to realize that our light is not just for ourselves, it is meant to be shared. When we stand firm in our own strength and purpose, we naturally create space for others to find their own path. The more we illuminate our own lives with integrity, compassion, and clarity, the more we inspire others to do the same. We become a beacon for those who are searching for guidance, hope, or a sense of direction. And in this process, we not only help others navigate the storms in their lives, but we also grow and evolve ourselves, constantly refining and strengthening our own light. In the end, becoming a lighthouse is not about perfection or being free of challenges. It is about embracing our inner light, standing firm in our truth, and shining brightly for others. It is about navigating our own storms with resilience and grace, offering support and compassion to others along the way, and remaining unwavering in our commitment to live authentically. The more we embody these qualities, the more we inspire others to step into their own power, becoming lighthouses in their own right. It is in this way that we create a world filled with light, where each of us plays a role in guiding and uplifting one another. In conclusion, becoming a lighthouse is a powerful journey of inner growth, resilience, and service to others. It is about standing firm in the face of life's challenges, embracing our vulnerabilities, and shining our light regardless of the storms that may surround us. By nurturing our own inner strength and staying true to our purpose, we not only guide ourselves but also offer hope and direction to those in need. In being authentic, compassionate, and unwavering, we become beacons of light for others, showing them that they too have the strength to overcome and navigate their own storms. When we embrace our role as lighthouses, we create a ripple effect of light, transforming not only our own lives but also the lives of those around us, creating a world where we support, uplift, and empower each other to shine brightly.